Guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reacting to this video. It's idiot streamers that destroy their lives in seconds.
In today's age, being a streamer is easily one of the most desired jobs.
Switch between the two channels, Pexo, I think that was called, and this one.
In today's age, being a streamer is easily one of the most desired jobs ever. There are so many people that dream to be in the high ranks of streamers like iShowSpeed and Kai Cenat. It's a position that takes years to build but can be broken in mere seconds. Being a streamer is a job that basically requires you to be your authentic self. So in seconds, Cenat. It's a position that takes years to build but can be broken in mere seconds. Being a streamer is a job that basically requires you to be your authentic self. So in reality, if you are a complete piece of shit, it will eventually show. And with many streamers, it has. From faking disabilities to saying the N-word 60 times to literally committing fucking murder, there are so many streamers that have destroyed their giant audience in mere seconds. So let's cut the bullshit and get right into it. Legendary Leah was a streamer on Twitch who developed an audience of over 500,000 followers. Pretty good. She usually would do a lot of things to try and rage bait people, and oftentimes it did kind of work. But one night, after quite a lot of glug glug glug, she did something that went way too far. A viewer asked her to promote their stream as it was a fundraiser to raise money for the St. Jude's cancer research. How did Leah respond? She went on a giant rant about how kids with cancer should fucking die.
You should follow the link. You should donate to St. Jude because kids have cancer, but obviously I think people should know by now. I'm gonna be honest because I was a bio major and you should listen to me, but children that have cancer are going to die, and they're meant to die.
Her argument for this as a bio major was something about genetic sequencing, something along those lines.
The reason why children under the age of 10 get cancer is because they have something genetically wrong with them. And that just means something really, really, really awful happened during the genetic sequencing of their bodies.
Kids do not deserve to die, honestly. I mean, that is the worst thing you could say.
This got her so much backlash because it was just out of line. Now, according to Famous Birthdays, she does have a degree in psychology and neuroscience, which is a form of biology. Shocking, I know, like I didn't actually think she had a bio degree either. And considering that she has these pretty prestigious degrees, it's kind of surprising that she's acting like this. She also did have this reputation for being a booby streamer, which means that you kind of dressed, you know, pretty out there to get more views. And this whole thing was kind of part of her character, if you will. But this whole thing heavily stunted her growth because it just went way too far. But what also stunted her growth was when she literally flashed her pussy on stream, which got her temporarily banned from Twitch. Since then, she hasn't really scratched past 600,000 followers and really rarely streams anymore because of all the controversy she developed. But what she said is not nearly as bad as what streamer Dolor said in a fit of rage. Now, Dolor was a very respected streamer who was good at a lot of video games. So good that in fact the Toronto Esports League had him as an official player for one of their official tournaments. And for a gaming streamer, this is a giant opportunity. It got him from 315,000 followers on Twitch to over 700,000. But he messed it all up during one game when he said the N-word 60 times. Not 6, not 16, 6-0. It was during a live match of Overwatch that he felt like he was being attacked by another player who was cheating. And so then he started calling him the slur multiple times. For obvious reasons, he was dropped from the Esports League. He tried to back this up by saying that he had a bad day because on a good day you only say it 30 times. However, he would apologize on Twitter, taking accountability. He would even retire from esports even though he didn't really have a great chance at ever coming back. Toronto Esports would also make their own statement addressing it. Immediately upon learning of the incident, the player was interviewed, admitted to the offense, and was notified that his contract with the organization was being terminated. Dolores said he was going to get a doctor to really get to the root of his issues, but this aged like milk. He would still continue to be streamed and be very unfiltered with the rage. And at one point on Twitch during an Apex game, he called one of his female players a bitch and told her to make him a sandwich.
Well, of course I am. I don't have armor. You took it.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Fucking trash. Go fucking cook a fucking sandwich, you fucking bitch. Fucking bad fucking game, man.
he got banned again because he obviously did not learn his lesson. He would try to get unbanned on Twitch, going on Twitter to get some sort of pity. He would even post an apology, but it was too late. Keep in mind that this was a guy over 30 years old talking like a middle schooler. This ban really set him back to the point where he was now struggling to pay bills. However, he would eventually get unbanned again, which is kind of wild, but overall his career was permanently scarred from these incidents. But hey, at least he never faked a disability or anything, because that would be a wild thing to do. But that is exactly what Zillion opted. Now, Zillion OP started streaming a year after he got into a pretty dangerous car accident that left him to use a wheelchair. He would stream in his wheelchair playing video games, which gave him a pretty strong audience. A lot of people gave him donations, subscriptions, and some people even set up a GoFundMe to get him a brand new wheelchair. All of this which earned him around thousands of dollars. The thing was, he was completely faking it. Zillion was extremely dishonest about his actual condition. Now, it's very likely he was at one point actually disabled, but over time he recovered to the point where he was able to fully walk and just never really mentioned it. And he didn't really say anything because the money was too good. People were just donating so much to him. Because after all, people were only really giving him money because he was disabled. And there were signs of him lying at first, but no one really listened. One of Zillion's friends, Hypno, who he actually used to stream with, actually hacked his Facebook account to try and reveal the truth to people. But this was brushed off as some asshole who was trying to kick a handicapped guy while he was down. No pun intended. Okay, maybe a little intended. There was a point on stream where he did fucked up by accidentally showing a bot for Diablo 3, and this did get him banned from the game. When this came out, Zillion claimed that he was banned for account sharing, not for using a bot, which was clearly not true. But the true clip that really took everything down was when he accidentally got up from his wheelchair while still on live.
Hey, Angel.
Hi. Did everybody already leave?
Yeah, Mungle had to go.
Nationwide's easily outgeared.
Our dog is. Oh my god! We took our dog, like, to the fish shop today because the dog loves just, like, going out and meeting new people, and we constantly have to take him to, like, be introduced to new, like, random people and stuff. So he hangs out at fish shops and stuff because, like, we love talking to the people there anyways. And there were just a bunch of people that, like, came in, like, a bunch of customers that came in just, like, in this huge flow, and he got scared and, like, came and sat on my lap, and I was like, oh, this is so cute, like, he's cuddling with me because he's scared.
You can hear his girlfriend audibly gasp, oh my god, before trying to say some sort of fake story to try and cover things up, but it was just simply too late. Zillion showing the camera to the keyboard says way more than enough. It was right after this that his audience got pissed, and Hypno was very quick to gloat. Zillion would get banned off Twitch and be shamed from the community. However, he would make a comeback nearly 9 years later under a different name, It's Bluish, and this account would even get partnered on Twitch. And in an interview with the YouTuber Wavy Websurf, it actually did seem like he really regretted his actions.
I can't apologize enough for the people that were truly misled at the time. Not necessarily people, and I hate to say this, not necessarily the people that have been misled to this point, like that didn't know me back then, but anyone that had donated to me back then or had supported me back then or supported because I was in the chair or whatever it may be. Like, I do sincerely apologize for misleading people and for not letting people know that I was at the point of recovery that I was at. And also for my actions in the process of when it was found out that I defended myself in a completely wrong way and should have been just open and honest from the get-go, and I would have never been in that situation. But when it did get seen, that I should have just been straight up.
But he would still get banned from Twitch for ban evasion. Now, whether you think he deserves to get banned for an old act that he clearly regrets is up to you. But a creator who does deserve it is Arab Andy, who honestly should get an award for blowing up and destroying his career so quickly. Now, Arab Andy developed an audience very fast after he streamed with very popular creators like Ice Poseidon and Sam Pepper. It was with them that he gained the name Arab Andy and would really make a lot of Arab jokes. Like, he would go up to fellow Arabs and literally play songs from ISIS.
I do it for Allah, bro. Hey, you gotta go all out, bro. I'm not...
This is one of the many instances, but you get the idea. His whole shtick was to make self-deprecating Arab jokes, like his literal channel name was Isis Poseidon. The more reckless he got, the more money he was making. You get the idea. Now, to up the ante, he would walk onto a random college campus and just start trolling all of the students. But he took things way too far when he got a TTS donation that announced a bomb explosion that freaked everybody out. You can't just pretend to launch a fucking bomb in public. That's illegal. And so he got arrested soon after. He was put in jail on a $75,000 bond. Because again, you can't just simply pretend to set off a fucking bomb in public. Yes, the TTS donor technically made the sound, but Arab Andy was heavily encouraging this behavior and did nothing to stop it. And because of his probation, he couldn't post for 2 years. When he did return, he would announce that he was completely done with the Arab Andy persona and basically was not really doing content that much anymore. Now, all of these streamers did very fucked up things, but in terms of what they actually did, it was really just out of pocket or annoying. What about the streamers that actually did fuck up and hurt people? Now, in February 2018, streamer Raj Patel was hosting a stream with 3 other girls where they were all sharing stories and life experiences. Now, Raj asked one of the girls what the most fucked up thing they ever did was, and one of the girls, Aqua Lador, said that she killed a dog on purpose.
What about you, Aqua? What's the worst thing that you've ever done to somebody? Cam up in the tiny chat, by the way, when you're in.
Yeah.
What's
well, I used to work as a veterinary technician, so I once killed someone's dog on purpose, and I
glow on purpose?
Yeah, but no one knew because,
Oh my
professional. But
Oh no! My god, that's really bad. I'm gonna pretend like you didn't say that. Just say it was an accident. That is.
It was an accident.
Oh my god, Scojin, thank you for the $4.20 donation. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Goodness.
Okay, we're not gonna. I don't really want to know, but wait, was it?
I mean, it was a really bad person. So
what? I know, but Jesus, what? But the dog, the poor dog, come on, no.
The dog was pretty shitty too.
What? How old was the dog?
I don't know, average age, four or so.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she meant it. And the worst thing was that she did it because she thought that the owner was a bad person. It didn't seem like a joke based on her delivery and how she was pretty detailed about it. This clip would get pretty viral on Reddit for all of the wrong reasons. Raj, the host, condemned the situation and donated all of the profits to a charity for helping animals. Killing a dog is no joke and can result to 1 to 5 years in jail depending on what state you live in. When this clip went viral on Reddit and Twitter, so many people demanded her account to be banned and for her to be investigated. However, she didn't technically break any guidelines by saying this. Ironically, it was a lot of the people that were finding her info and sending her death threats that actually were getting banned. She would respond trying to gaslight people into claiming that it was just a joke. You would think this community would know how to recognize a troll when they see one. I don't know who she's trying to fool because that just wasn't funny. But you know what else isn't funny? Natalie Reynolds' entire career. If I had to sum up Natalie in one sentence, I'd call her the female Jack Doherty. She started her journey as an OF girl making pretty cringe dance videos in public to try and get as much views as possible. And she was also signed to Jack Doherty's management. She was one of these girls that marketed porn to children. But after this, she went into the streaming direction on Kick and started being a complete menace to society. Natalie did almost anything to be as controversial as possible, like pretending to be homeless or wearing painted pants in an Amish village, or dressing up as a child and handing out cupcakes to registered sex offenders, or driving a van that had a sign that said free candy and trying to get children in it. You get the idea. This was all for the purpose of rage bait and trying to get people to talk about her. I mean, I could make a whole video on her alone, but I'm gonna keep this brief. However, one day she took things way too far when she did a scavenger hunt for the streamer Ice Poseidon. During the stream, she encountered a woman who was acting very odd. It's unclear if she was homeless or under the influence or mentally unstable, but something was definitely off about this woman just by looking at her. Natalie even asked if she's drunk, showing that she knows that something's off.
Are you drunk?
Seeing this, Natalie tries to get a good gag for the stream by making fun of her, and at one point she tries to get her to jump into the lake. However, the woman is hesitant because she says that she doesn't want to drown. But Natalie is very persistent and says that she would give the woman $20 if she did so.
I'll give you $20. 20 bucks? Yeah, that's a W.
No,
that's a good deal.
come with me.
$20.
Now at first, Natalie thinks it's all jokes and giggles until she hears that the woman is fucking drowning.
I'll jump in after you.
We're jumping together.
You jump in and...
Did you?
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, ready?
Oh!
Oh,
You said it was okay.
You said you wanted to swim. She said she's stuck.
Oh, this is bad.
Oh, Natalie.
Oh, dude, no, this is actually really bad.
I can't swim. I can only float.
Oh, she might literally die.
No, stop. Seriously, don't stop. Please, you're actually freaking me out. He's floating.
Drowning.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself. She says she's drowning. We leave.
Oh, this is bad.
Dude, Natalie.
Dude, I'm sorry. I didn't know. She said she's drowning. She said she's drowning.
I think you literally just murdered the lady.
No, I didn't. I swear.
In a frenzy, instead of maybe trying to help or something, they completely ditch the situation and run away. The police would confirm that they did help the woman get out of the lake and Natalie was the one behind it all. Soon enough, there were tons of headlines and all of the creators were talking about it.
She is just a piece of shit. Plain and simple. All she cares about is making people mad so that way maybe people find her fucking awful streams.
What made this even worse was Natalie's horrendous response taking no accountability.
They told me to leave and stop filming, that's why we left, and she got the help she needed and is fine. Stop dragging me. Allah.
The backlash was so bad that she did streaming as a whole and went over to TikTok where she developed a reputation for copying other TikTokers with no shame. But she would get banned off there too when she became way too obsessive with Brooke Bonk. Like it went to the point where she had pictures and cardboard cutouts of her boyfriend in videos. It was really weird. She was basically forced into this lane of having to be controversial to be relevant. But the problem with this is that it never works out in the end. But if we want to look at someone who did something way more disturbing, then we have to look at Smash God XXX. Now, Smash God was a creator who basically streamed his everyday life and did Pokemon card unboxings. He would often feature his girlfriend and his little dog. And he was starting to get a decent audience with over 11,000 followers. But one day, he was streaming with his girlfriend in his room and he asked her to leave because he wanted to just talk to chat. At first, she refused, which made him pretty angry to the point where he demanded that she leave and get him a beer. It escalates more and more and more, and eventually at one point, he turns the camera away and you can hear a very loud slap.
Yo, get out of here for a second. I need to talk to Chad without you. Just get out. I'll open the door for you. Just please. Please. Leave my stream and me alone. Get out, please.
Why are you telling on me now?
No, I'm not. But I need to talk to Chad without you here. This is serious. If I want to keep fierce, you gotta go out. Just please. Why are you acting like that? Why are you acting like that? For real. Don't come at me like you know everything.
I
You don't
don't
know shit.
know.
Exactly, so keep your mouth shut. You don't know shit. Bring me my beer. My beer's right there in the living room, actually.
I'm not fucking your maid, okay?
He would also mute the mic and turn the video off for an entire 5 minutes. Based on seeing it, it's pretty obvious that he abused his girlfriend right on the stream. They would turn the stream right back on and continue like everything was normal, but the chat would very obviously press him about this. But both of them would deny it being true. Based on the body language, his girlfriend was very clearly lying, and at one point she was silently sobbing. The aftermath was so shady, the YouTube channel promoted actually points out that he whispers "shut the fuck up" to her on the stream.
Yeah, just chill out. Let me chill, okay?
In a desperate attempt to try and divert attention from the situation, the sister takes the camera and starts trying to vlog around her room. But you can still hear a lot of weird noises in the background.
And here, I'll show you guys. Let's do a room tour. I literally just cleaned it like last week.
I actually use Grammarly all the time to help me write emails to my team. They have pro features too, like Sidebar.
The This clip would start to gain traction after it was upvoted a ton in the livestream fails subreddit. SmashGod would try and encourage his fans to downvote the post. He would even send cease and desist letters to any creators that talked about the situation, just to show how innocent he was. Eventually his channel would get banned altogether, and this was the main thing that he was known for. Beating your girlfriend on stream is a wild thing to do, but R-wording your girl on stream is an even worse thing to do, which is exactly what JoeDaddy505 did. Now in 2016, Joe Daddy was streaming himself playing the game NBA 2K, but after he was done, he forgot to mute his microphone. It was then he started to argue with his girlfriend while seemingly being wasted out of his mind. He starts calling her names and allegedly beats her, and then eventually starts to R-word her. She can clearly be heard screaming and begging him to stop for an entire 5 minutes. I'm not playing any of it because it is so disturbing, but the transcript of it says enough. You're a slut. You're a slut. Get off of me. You're a straight slut. I'm gonna call the cops. Ha ha ha, you straight slut. I don't give a fuck about you, bruh. You think I give a fuck about you? Don't give a fuck about you. This literally goes on for 5 minutes, but every single second is unbearable. And at one point, she even shouts that you're R-wording me. Now, the clip further gained traction when Keemstar talked about it on his channel, and it got hundreds of thousands of views. Joe would address it on social media, blaming it on alcohol, but also admitting to beating her. I got drunk, yes, I know I did. My father recently passed away.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yes, I know that alcohol can affect your body, but it's not an excuse. I mean, you beat someone, you beat someone. It doesn't matter if you're drunk or not.
No, I did not R-word her. I hit her and fell on top of her and hit her again. I know I shouldn't have done that. Twitch didn't take any legal action or ban his channel because audio is simply just not really enough to really go off on. There actually needs to be a victim that comes forward, and she never really did. But being banned was honestly the least of his worries because his life was ruined. If a clip like this goes viral, you're done for. In response to the backlash, he wiped all of his social media and basically fell off the face of the earth. It's unfortunate that he technically still got away with it, but someone who didn't get away with it was Stephen McCulloch, who honestly did one of the worst things you could possibly do. Now, Stephen was living a pretty solid life. He had a decently growing audience on YouTube with over 30,000 subscribers. He had a nice, beautiful wife and a baby on the way. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? The thing was, Stephen was the jealous type, and I mean the crazy jealous type. So much so that when he saw that his wife got 33 messages from a random WhatsApp number, instead of maybe talking about it like adults, he decided to fucking murder her. Now, Stephen orchestrated the murder by pre-recording a live stream to post on his channel. This was a Christmas-themed stream where he was gonna do the usual. He calculated every single moment of it, including the fact that he wasn't gonna talk to live chat so that he could simply focus on playing the video games and not get distracted.
So, what are we doing tonight? Well, because this streaming software is kind of up the left, it means I can't check the live chat, which is a real shame. So, by all means, talk amongst yourselves. I could use my phone to dip in every now and again and check it, but I've decided that I kind of hate live streams where people just sit and read comments and go, "Oh my god, yes, ask me questions, better." And also, if I go on my phone for too long, I'll end up just scrolling through TikTok, and the amount of time that I've lost scrolling through TikTok is unbelievable. So yeah, phone's away. Can't look at the live chat for some bloody reason, because if I do, it makes the whole thing freeze and OBS just screws up.
While this stream premiered, Stephen would put his plan into action. Stephen's wife, Natalie, would come home from watching the World Cup with her parents at 7 p.m. At 7:09 p.m., Stephen would get onto a bus disguised in a large hood, snood, and gloves. At 8:52 p.m., he entered Natalie's house and stabbed her to death. She was 15 weeks pregnant at the time. And soon after, he took a taxi right back to his house. And this all happened at the same time that the stream was happening, so that he would have a solid alibi. And for a while, it seemed like this plan actually worked. The stream was a solid cover-up for the police, because how on earth could he kill his wife if he was streaming? He attended the wake, the funeral, and even joined a rally that was against violence for women in his wife's name. However, soon after, the evidence would start to become clearer to detectives. The detectives would find the actual footage from the night, and they found that the person who stabbed her was the exact same size and height as Stephen. And the people who were on the same exact bus described the killer as someone who looked just like Steven. And there was also so much more evidence that pointed this too. Like the fact that Natalie's dog did not attack the killer, showing that he recognized Steven when he walked in. Other evidence like passwords, browsing history, and a bunch of other stuff just all pointed in his direction. He would be charged with murder, but at the time of this video being posted, his actual trial date has not been decided yet still. What's scary is that he was just so close to getting away with it because what he did was so disturbing. But the most disturbing person on this list easily is Stanislav Rashotniak. I probably butchered that name, but bear with me. Now, Stanislav was a trash streamer, which basically means that you get wasted and people pay you to do random shit. And this would get Stanislav some pretty good money at first. He paid whatever the donation monies would tell him to do. But over time, these stunt requests got more and more intense. For one, he had one of his friends who was homeless come live with him and tortured him the entire time for stream. He would beat him, have him drink piss, and at one point even buried him up to his head in the ground. He basically took advantage of him because he was desperate for shelter. The friend never spoke out against this or called himself a victim, but it was so obvious that he hated it. However, after time, he would eventually leave, which meant that Stanislav needed a new person to bully on stream, and that person would become his girlfriend. The stunts would start with him simply berating her, and then eventually it would get very, very abusive. In one viral video, Stanislav pinned her to the ground and beat her to the point where his friend had to force him off of her. In another stream, he pepper sprayed her while she screamed in agony and then went right back to streaming like as if nothing happened. Now, his girlfriend, Valentina, would report him to the police multiple times. One for giving her a leg injury and another time for beating her while he was drunk. This type of activity was a very clear indication of what happened on December 2nd, 2020. Now, Stanislav was streaming with Valentina and his friend Marina. During the stream, he got a donation of $1,000, which is one of the largest donations that he ever received. The donation commanded him to beat up Valentina and lock her outside. Now keep in mind, this is in Russia, which is a pretty chilly country, and the winters are brutal. In Moscow, where they live, the temperature can get as low as 25 degrees Celsius or 13 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really fucking cold. But Stanislav saw the cash and had no second thoughts. He beat Valentina, threw cold water on her, stripped her down to her underwear, and locked her outside. Valentina tried to fight back by using a knife to threaten them, but it was no use. He locked her outside and went back to streaming as usual. For a while, Valentina banged on the door begging to be let in, but Stanislav simply ignored her. Eventually, the knocking would stop. Stanislav assumed that she simply just got tired and continued to stream like normal. After an hour and a half, he eventually remembered her and went outside to let her back in. But when he saw her, she was pale and motionless on the ground. He brought her back in and tried to get her to wake up, but she was unresponsive. He quickly saw that something was wrong and she was not breathing, which he announced to the chat. However, at first he did nothing to help. He continued to stream and drinking while talking to chat, clearly sobbing. Eventually, he did call emergency services and stopped the stream after they arrived. She was pronounced dead at the hospital, but oddly enough, it was actually not because she froze to death. It was actually from the head injuries that she received from Stanislav because he hit her pretty damn hard. But I imagine that being in the freezing cold weather in your underwear definitely did not help that in the slightest. Stanislav would admit to beating her and he was let go for the night. I have no idea why they did that. But the next day, they would arrest him. He tried to argue that she willingly went outside, even though that's clearly not what happened from the stream. The eeriest part of the entire trial was when they asked him if he regretted it, and this is what he said. "What is there to regret? I didn't really do anything." You'd think that such a disgusting person that did such a fucked up thing live on stream for money would get some extreme maximum sentence and would never see the light of day, especially because of the fact that he had no remorse. The court would find him guilty of involuntary manslaughter, and he was sentenced to only 6 years in jail. 6 fucking years. And in 2027, he's going to be a free man for what he did. What a fucking joke. But that's going to be it for this video. And remember, kids, if you're going to be a streamer, don't kill people on live because that's kind of a vibe kill. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's terrible. That is terrible. Honestly, I feel like that they streamer probably does. I feel like he deserved life in prison because that's what you get too. So okay, guys, in case you so that probably scheduled, but it's some more. So I have a YouTube channel, I have a Twitch channel, and this is my my view of it. So yeah. If you guys want to check my YouTube, not YouTube, sorry, Twitch channel. This is what it is. This is the channel. So yeah, yeah, that will be all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, homies.